How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to read the rewards of trading whether the price is going up or down. So we'll cover the total, Dixie, and dominance real quick, and futures as well. Then we will continue to cover everything else as normal. Let me know if you like the change. Over on Dixie, we are on the hour. We don't have very much movement here as we are on the beginning of the week, and it pretty much just opened. We do have a potential bear flag here. This bear flag is created when you get this quick drop down and then create a consolidation range. You draw a parallel channel, that gives you your range. You draw from the top to the bottom, that gives you your pole, and you apply the pole to the bottom of your channel, and that gives you your push down to around 102. RSI does want to pull back. Stochastic is trying to push forward, but if that stochastic rounds away, we will see that RSI push price action lower. VWAP is pretty flat. Watch for it to break bearish. If it breaks bearish and holds, we will see momentum, the blue wave, remain bearish, and money flow will continue lower. Over on dominance for the daily, we are trying to see a pretty decent push forward. We can jump to the 1 day just to see the candle better, as there was a little more data here. So Bitcoin did do better than our altcoins. Our stochastic does want to push up, RSI is gaining strength, momentum's pushing, VWAP is trying to push bullish, and money flow is bullish. This does look positive as far as Bitcoin holding its value against altcoins. Over on total, we are seeing a pretty quick drop down. I would watch, this could be good. If we make a double bottom here, you would have a drop here, a rise, a drop, and then we would want another rise to push us higher. That would give us some new highs on our altcoins, as that would push us. Our neckline would be right where that thing is, so I want it right there, roughly, since my tool wants to be in the way. And then you draw from your neckline down and apply that up. That could push our market cap to about 862. That could be positive. That could be a strong run on altcoins. Momentum is pushing down. VWAP is favoring bearish. Money flow is pulling back. Stochastic is selling off, and RSI is pulling back. So we need a strong green candle that pushes us above that 300 EMA, and then we need to hold and break the golden pocket if we're going to see this double bottom play out. If we continue lower from here, then it's likely we will see altcoins sell off. So watch that VWAP close. If it favors bearish on lower time frames, we can jump to the 1 hour. If it does not get a higher low with these higher highs and continue a bullish trend here, then we could see a sell-off. If that VWAP does get a higher low with these higher highs, then momentum could push up and money flow could become bullish, and that would push our altcoins up further up. Over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, it's kind of hard to see, but we did open that gap we said we should see. So this is very positive for us, as we did drop down and fill our previous gap. Our previous gap is right around this range we're at. So what we want to see from here is strong green bullish momentum. We would want to break that 61K and then make a higher high. If we can make a higher high above the 67K to around 68K, we could continue further. Ideally, we would put a high above 70K. And then if we can make that higher low with that higher high, filling this gap above us, then we could see this bull flag still play out, and we could still see that 90K play out. So RSI is pulling back, stochastic's pretty beat down. VWAP is in the bearish territory, momentum is dropping, and money flow is pulling back. So I would watch. If that VWAP stays bearish, we likely will sell off. However, if our VWAP starts to reverse and push forward, then we can gain some bullish momentum. As futures does lead Bitcoin, we could see Bitcoin run up too. Bitcoin did try to break the flag, but we managed to hold in it. If we can push forward and get a strong green candle, then we could try to break that 63K, and that's where we could continue further. Again, you want a higher high with this higher low to give us that bullish rising channel. And if the highs and lows do not connect very well, that could give us a bullish continuation to give us the bull flag breakout, and that run to potentially around 90K. RSI does want to pull back. VWAP is favoring bearish with lower highs and lower lows. Momentum's pushing back, and money flow is bearish, so I would watch the lower time frames very close. Over on the 1 hour, we are pushing down very quick. Remember, when you get a quick drop down, typically you do retrace. One quick move one way is usually retraced by a quick move the other. This may be a descending channel. I'm not really going to bet on it though. Stochastic does want to pull back. RSI is pulling back. VWAP does have a lower low, but wants to break neutral. If it can hold bullish, we could try to make a bounce and push forward. Ideally, that would be what we would do. Momentum does want to pull back, and money flow is starting to favor bearish, so I would watch. If that money flow does not reverse on lower time frames, we likely could continue lower. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic does have blue above orange, and we are bouncing. That is positive. that will push RSI and price further up. VWAP does want to break that neutral. I would watch though. We did make a lower low, so if we get a lower high here, momentum will push away, money flow will break down, and price action would continue lower. I would then exercise caution. However, if our VWAP can break this neutral and hold, we could see that run forward. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic is rounding. We have orange above blue. RSI is starting to pull back. VWAP has lower highs with lower lows, so we have a bearish trend. Watch that very close. If that bearish trend continues, we could see continued bearish momentum and break down. That would be a potential break at that 57. If we break that, we would make a push to 52, and then we could see lower gaps filled. Our stochastic does want to round away. RSI is pulling back. VWAP is in a bearish trend there, so I would exercise caution. Over on graph for the daily, we did push down to that 14,316 like we warned, so I would exercise caution if the rest of the market sees further sell-off. RSI does want to pull back, stochastic is favoring bearish. VWAP is getting bearish momentum. We do have a higher low, and we are trying to push up. If the lower time frames can flip bullish, then we could run up. Momentum is breaking down. Money flow is starting to push lower. So again, watch lower time frames. Over on the 4 hour, stochastic is starting to round away. RSI is pulling back. VWAP does want to make a rejection. Momentum is favoring bearish, and money flow is breaking down. So I would exercise caution here. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic is running up. We have blue above orange. RSI is pushing forward. VWAP does want to gain strength. Momentum does have a double green dot, and money flow is trying to push up. But if that VWAP rejects, we will see money flow continue lower, and that will break higher time frames lower. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic is pushing down. RSI is pulling back. VWAP does want to break down. Momentum is rounding, and money flow is selling off. So I would exercise caution. Over on Ankr for the daily, we probably have some gaps here as well. You know, Ankr loves its gaps. We could also make double bottoms on these altcoins as well, as we do have mapped out in total. Stochastic is pulling back, RSI is falling, VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is dropping, and money flow is favoring bearish as well. Over on our 4 hour, stochastic is starting to curl. Watch that close. RSI does want to curl too. VWAP is starting to favor bearish, momentum is pushing down, and money flow does want to break away. So I would exercise caution. We could see this bearish continuation continue to drop us down, but remember, we do have gaps above us that we could push up to fill later. Stochastic is pushing up. RSI wants to gain strength, but it's pretty flat. VWAP is pretty flat above bullish territory, so watch if it can stay above neutral. If it does not, then momentum will pull back and money flow would sell off. That would result in higher time frames breaking away. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic does want to round. RSI is pulling back. VWAP is starting to push down. We do have a higher high, but we also have higher lows, so we have some indecision. Watch that close. Momentum does want to round away, and money flow is pulling back. Over on the 1 hour on XRP, we did break that support zone. We are going to delete our flag possibility, as it's pretty improbable at this point, unless the rest of the market sees a quick pump forward in response to its drop down. Momentum is pulling back. VWAP is getting a lower low. Stochastic and RSI are pushing down, and money flow does want to break bearish, so I would exercise caution. We are below the 300 EMA on this 4 hour, that black EMA. If we continue to reject, we likely will continue lower, and we could possibly break to that 48-49 cent. And if we do not hold there, remember we have our 38 cent zone. VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is pushing down, money flow is breaking down as a result, stochastic is dropping, and RSI is pulling back. Over on the 2 hour, we did get a rejection of our 54 cents, so I would watch. Stochastic does want to push up. RSI is starting to flatten, but the stochastic starting to round. Watch that stochastic close. VWAP did break bullish, but it's very weak, so if it breaks back to the bearish territory, we likely will see continued lows, as momentum would continue to favor bearish, money flow would continue to favor bearish as well, and higher time frames would continue to weaken. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic is dropping away with orange above blue. RSI is pulling back. VWAP does want to break bearish, momentum is rounding with the red dot, and money flow is selling off. So last but not least, we have ALGO. We are seeing a pretty strong push down. We did push down to around that 1093. We did warn that we could revisit some all-time lows, so we are pretty close to there. RSI is pulling back, stochastic is dropping. VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum's pushing down, and money flow does want to break down as well. I would exercise caution here. Over on the 4 hour, stochastic is pushing away. RSI does want to give up strength. VWAP is starting to favor bearish. Watch if it rejects. Momentum is pushing down, and money flow is pulling back. So if lower time frames favor bearish, we likely will continue to drop. Stochastic on the 2 hour does want to push up. RSI is trying to go flat, so I would watch if that stochastic bends. RSI will start to lead us lower. Our VWAP is in the bullish territory, but it's very weak. Watch that VWAP close. It needs to hold above the neutral to push us further. Momentum is trying to push up, and money flow does want to gain strength. But if the 1 hour favors bearish, we likely will break away. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic is rounding. RSI wants to pull back. VWAP is starting to weaken with higher or lower highs. So watch, if we continue with those lower highs and we break neutral, and then we can't get over neutral, momentum will reject and money flow will continue lower. That would result in those higher timeframes continuing to break down. Thank you for watching tonight's video.